For some reason, it looks like it disconnected. Let's check my speed. All right, now we should be live. But let me check my speed real quick. Yeah, we have great speed. I have 170, 200 megabits per second. So, 260. Upload speed is only 10. All right. So hopefully this stays now. Yo, who's in the chat, by the way? Is it somebody I know or are you new? I know Bobby's in here. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened there that it disconnected, but also if you guys can hear me, let me know. Oh, what's up, Binoche? How are you, bro? By the way, guys, if you hear that I'm whispering, it's because there are people sleeping, so I'm trying not to be too loud. But I will up the volume later when people are up. So if you guys just are tuning in, we're in this 4-hour fair value gap right now. We have daily highs up here, and we have this daily fair value gap that I think is the draw that we need to rebalance. Binoche, are you live trading today? What's your, or do you have a setup today at all? I don't know if you trade the news candles like I do, but these can be really lucrative. We have them in 2 minutes. And if we look at the calendar, it is, I'm pretty sure it's retail sales and unemployment claims. Yeah, so we have core retail sales and unemployment claims in basically a minute. So what I'm looking for, guys, is some big candle on the 1 minute. Okay, and then we're going to look for either the high or the low of that candle to get swept. And then after it gets swept, then we'll look for targeting the opposite liquidity. So ideally, I'd like to see a big wick up close to this general area, then a trade down either into a fair value gap or a sweep of lows to continue higher. So let's see what candle we get. Now again, it's not going to be a huge candle, possibly because it's not CPI, it's not anything massive, but we should still get a decent setup here. And I'll be trading this on an eval account. Obviously I have other accounts up, but we're going to do one contract on the eval. One mini, not a micro. So we got just a few seconds left. All right, so average candle. Oh, you want to dip buy today? 20,400. Interesting. So maybe a retest of the new week opening gap. I don't know. I think if it wants to go higher here, it's not going to go much lower. But again, because of where we are on the 4-hour and the daily, we could easily chop here. My view is this very bearish candle is probably a fake out, but I would totally say that the top of the fair value gap will be tested at minimum. But I think this is probably inducement for shorts, and then we'll continue higher. Yeah, so now we're going to mark the data high here. Okay. And so far there's no setup, but again, I think at minimum we're going to rebalance the top of this 4-hour gap, which again comes from here. It's the fair value gap that formed. And then from there we could look for shorts, but we'll have to see what we get. So far there's no actionable setup here. There's no fair value gaps forming on the 1 minute. I just want to check here quick if we have equal lows anywhere. That's another important thing. So no equal lows here, no equal lows here, no equal lows here. This was taken out by a tick. Let me just check. 438.25 and 438. Yeah, so that was taken. These are equal lows here, actually, guys. I'll double check on the 1 minute, but let's just see for sure. Oh, they're close together like this. I'm not a huge fan of these equal lows, not gonna lie. But we will note that they do exist. We do have a set of equal lows here, it looks like. Whoops. So let's label those. Anything else? Do you guys have any equal lows that you see anywhere on the chart that I'm missing? Oh, more equal lows right here, it looks like. So guys, it's really important to mark these because these are magnets for price. So eventually, wait, let me make sure these are 2270, 2270. So these are magnets for price. Eventually, the markets are destined to draw down to these lows. But the question is when. So you have to be super careful. Again, so far, no actionable setup here. We do have our 830 area that just formed, but yeah, so pretty uneventful, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting a little more out of this, but we'll have to see what we get. If we get a very bullish candle and then we form like a 1 minute inverse up here, I'll look for shorts back down to this data low. But we'll have to see which opportunity presents itself first. So we'll label this data low. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing so far. Benoj, right, maybe. Oh, by the way, Benoj, I talked to WAP. Apparently, my Discord, you can't get in if you're not a premium member. There's no like free section, so everything is a premium. So that market chat is a premium chat. I'm gonna talk to them about making a free section too. But for now, if you want to post it, you're welcome to because it's just premium. But once I get a free section, I will make a premium chat and a regular chat. Let me look at the 15 quick. Okay, first of all, let me just move these a little bit out of the way so I can see the candles. 30-minute and hourly chart. So we have this 1 minute order block. We have this fair value gap here that we could easily balance. There's so many different aspects. But yeah, like I said, guys, I think at minimum, so what tends to happen in these situations, either this leg is inducement and it's inducement for shorts. A bunch of people are going to short in this fair value gap and just get smoked. Or we're going to go up close to the high of the fair value gap and then reject. That's the two scenarios that I typically see in this type of situation. Benoj watching Mara at SMCI, yeah, bro. So one of the things I called in the Discord, I don't know if you can see previous posts, but we've been adding Riot at these levels. I think I'm down like 10% on my position. It's a super high risk play, but if crypto, like I called on X, but if crypto moons, oh my god, we're gonna go crazy. And I think it is. If you guys look at Bitcoin right now, we have all this low resistance liquidity. On the weekly, we created this order block that should be, I've been calling that on X as well, that should form. We just have to wait for a weekly close. We inverse this daily fair value gap. We have low LRLR. This looks like it's going to get ready to rip. So good news for anyone in Bitcoin. I think we are going to go a lot higher. Just a heads up. Yeah, but Benosh, that's risky. Doing naked calls and puts on SMCI and Mara. I'm sure you're looking at calls, but still. You can get smoked. Unless you're buying commons. I'm not sure what you're looking for. Yeah, guys, so what you could do here potentially is this. You could buy along off this 1 minute OB. I wouldn't do that personally, but definitely possible that this is the support that leads us higher. Again, not a high probability setup in my eyes, so I would avoid that. Wow, ES is so close to making that 1 minute, to making a new all-time high. So a lot more strength in ES than NQ, obviously. But yeah, so we just made another all-time high on ES. That's awesome. So 1 minute order block so far pushing us higher. Currently, we do have an SMT with ES and NQ, so just keep that in mind. Again, it's not a high probability SMT, but it's still there nonetheless. What is going on here? Dropped frame detected. Okay, well, Binosh, how is the stream? Is it clear? Can you guys see me and hear me? Is it laggy? Yes, it's laggy, or yes, you can hear me. Because on my end, it's super super fast, but again, I don't know how it's translating to you guys. Oh, awesome. All right, good. Okay, so 1 minute order block so far holding up price. I'm thinking that this is a continuation higher up to, again, like I said, the top of this fair value gap. But again, I'm not looking to take that. There's no setup for me. But if we do get a 1 minute inverse in this area, I will look for that for shorts. But again, the main draw for me is going to be at least this daily high and then the top of this fair value gap. So my bias is bullish. Very, very slow red folder, but maybe if we get a sweep of this low first and then higher, they'll definitely take longs, but so far no actionable setup. A 1 minute order block is not my model. If it's your model, you can try it. Again, this is not a high win rate situation in my opinion. I'm trying to fix this camera, bro. Okay, so looks like data highs are going to get hit. On the 30-second chart, we have equal highs here as well, and the 1 minute. So this should drive price higher. Again, not my model, so we sit and we watch until an actionable setup appears. Now this is the time that maybe the 30-second would be good, but again, I don't use it, so. I think what I'm gonna do, guys, for data candle setups, all right, nice candle here. I think I'm gonna start taking them only on days like CPI and big red folder news, because this is like lackluster. What's the word? Lackluster action. It's very moderate. There's not a lot of good price action here. It's just slow and no good setup. So balancing on 1 minute here. So in theory, this should act as support to drive price higher. But again, I would never take this. Now again, it is an order block and a fair value gap, so it should be relatively respected, but not my model. Let me go on X quick. I have to fix the, whoa. Gotta fix the link because for some reason the stream dropped, so I have to get a new stream up. All right, so that's fixed. What did I say? Lackluster? Sorry, it's 5 a.m. here. Lackluster, that's right. So this, again, this 1 minute fair value gap should act as support to move us up to the data highs, but this is not a strong enough model for me to take with size or to take at all. I'd rather take something that I know with 90% certainty is going to happen, and a 1 minute order block and fair value gap after a data candle setup is not that for me. Now, if this inverses, we could probably take it down to this low, but again, liquidity was not swept on the upside. I mean, we did have this little 1 minute sweep, but that's, again, not high probability enough for me to take. So if we get a 1 minute close here, which we just did, in theory, this should work, but it's not high probability because we didn't get an obvious sweep of liquidity to the upside, if that makes sense. Right? The obvious sweep on liquidity would be this data high. We did get a tiny 1 minute sweep here, but that's not enough to me. And then there's also the possibility of just complete chop here, so not worth it in my eyes. Hopefully we get a sweep of both of these lows and then an inverse fair value gap setup. That is something I would take. Let me keep these on the screen so you can see actually. So that was the entry. This is the exit or the move to break even, whichever you prefer. You could even target the next draw, which is the data candle low, though I wouldn't hold all the way there personally. Okay, so we got that sweep, so you could technically have taken profits there. If it was me, I mean, this is such a small move, right? We're looking at 6 points, so not enough for me to take profits. I would hold till here or move stops to break even. That's just me. Bobby, what about you, bro? Are you trading NQ today? All right, here's the sweep of the low. Almost. Sorry. If we get the sweep and then we get this inverse long, that is something I would take for sure. I like that. Yeah, I don't like it yet. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Bobby. I'm looking for the same. I want a low. I want a sweep of this data candle low, and then I want this inverse to get filled. So in theory, this should act as the resistance to let us continue lower. In theory. Let me look at the 5 quick. Yeah, nothing fantastic. Nothing even on the 3, on the 2. So yeah, in theory, this 2 minute should act as the resistance to keep us continuing lower. Okay, good rejection so far. So we want to see, ideally, again, this is a rejection to move us down to the data low, and then we get the reversal up. If we get it here, you can try this, but in my eyes, it's not the best setup. We do also have a 2-minute fair value gap, so you could potentially look for this, but this is not obvious enough for me to want to take it. It's more of an area I expect rejection than to look for an inverse. Okay, I'm gonna add all these charts here because I know sometimes we can get bored of watching this. I'm gonna move ES up here. No, I'm not. I'll keep it down here. So ES with a big rejection, still no low taken by either of them. Okay, so the 2-minute looks like it's going to inverse now. Again, this is not high probability price action in my view. Nothing I would be taking here. But again, we'd want to see this 1-minute act as rejection to take us down to the data low. That is ideally what would happen. And then from there, let me draw a pathway quick so you can see. So we get a rejection here, then some kind of a fair value gap to take us back up here. That is the ideal. So one thing you guys have to understand is the market runs on liquidity. So this wick created a lot of liquidity to the upside and the downside. So once one gets taken, the next should hit. That's what happens in theory with these markets. Just inverse to 1, so in theory we should go up to this internal high now. Yo guys, who's live trading this right now? Is anybody in a setup? Because if you are, you're dumb. Just letting you know. Not a smart place to be trading. Again, always wait for liquidity to get purged and then look for reversals. Don't trade in this chop. Don't trade in the range like this. So again, if you were in a trade right now, I'm sorry, but you're dumb. Wow, what terrible, terrible PA for an 8:30 setup. Again, guys, I think I'm just gonna, when I do live streams on YouTube, I'm just gonna wait for days like CPI, PPI, where red folder news, if it's singular 8:30 red folder news, that it's a lot more volatile. This is a very lackluster, Binoche, lackluster price action. Very, very lackluster moves. Not something I like to trade. Also, just in the spot that we're at in the markets is not great. We're inside of a daily candle here, so we want to see price move above or below these daily candles to really take a actionable, strong setup. But in theory, we should go up to this internal high now because we inverse this 1 minute, and there it is. Yeah, so that's that. Again, this is just little scalps you can try, but I don't think it's smart to do. We also have this little 1 minute here. Not a smart place to inverse, but potentially we're going up to this high and the data candle high. I mean, looking back, this wasn't a terrible setup, but again, nothing that I would take personally. I wanted to see this liquidity get swept first, not just this. So you guys don't just look for one side of liquidity get swept. The highest probability reversals will happen after multiple areas of liquidity are swept. Wow, I'm hungry. Why am I so hungry? It's 5 a.m. Do you guys eat in the morning before you trade, or do you trade fasted? Coffee? Yeah, I had coffee this morning. By the way, I just came back from Asia, but one of the things that they like to drink, it's called jelly coffee. They take gelatin, coffee, and cream, and they mix it with like some kind of a salted caramel, whatever. So good. And the gelatin's really good for your gut, your skin, your hair, your nails. So if you guys have never tried that, just order gelatin and mix it with your coffee, and then you have like a snack. It's like a pudding, and it's high protein. It's super healthy for you, and it's really good. So I ordered some gelatin, and I just got it delivered yesterday. So I'm gonna be making that. I'll show it to you guys when it's done. I'll have it later in the stream probably. So this 1 minute fair value gap in theory should drive us up to here. So if you guys want to try something, if you're bored, you can try the long here. Stop loss would be here. Take profit would be up here. Again, not something I would take personally, but you could if you wanted to. Wow, the TP here is $100. That's not bad. Yeah, big moves here for sure. It looks like this data high is going to hit, guys. So who else is in the stream? It's Bobby, Benoj, and who else? Is it somebody I know or you knew? Wow, didn't hit it. That's so funny. So you guys really want to try and scalp something? I think this is probably going to hit now, but again, no setup for me to take, so. You could try a 1-for-1 scalp here if you want, but probably get chopped around. Again, I care about what the next 100 trades look like, and if I take these little mini scalps over the next 100 trades, I'm going to get chopped up, and it's not going to be accurate data for me to look at and backtest, so that's why I don't take this stuff. Bitcoin, again, I showed you guys the daily inverse. We have all this LRLR. I think we're going to new all-time highs very soon. That is my view. I think we're going to have very small moves down here and then continuation higher. This is a swing trade that I added in the Discord yesterday. I don't know if I talked about it on X, but C3AI is looking really good. So little gems for you guys if you're following the streams. We just inversed this weekly fair value gap. We're retesting it, and I think at minimum we're going to go to this internal high at 28.05. So I'm going to take half of my profits here, and then the rest of them I'm going to take at this internal high. I think those are the two levels we're going to. So take a look at C3AI if you have a chance to. Okay, looks like this is going to hit in a second. And there's the data high. Very nice. Again, I think this will probably continue higher here if I had to guess up to the 4-hour fair value gap, but we will have to see what we get. ideally we get a really nice woman inverse here that we can take short back down to sell side. I don't think that's going to happen here. But if we get like an obvious strong woman candle and then we inverse this one. Okay, so there was nothing there. Probably going to take us down to this internal low if I had to guess. Oops. What? Okay, so definitely strength going into this high. There's no lack of displacement. A strong push, so it tells me we're probably going to go higher here. All right, there we go. I just posted in the announcements in the group that I'm live for those that haven't seen. But yeah, it looks like we're going to go up to the top of this 4 hour, if I had to guess. We're also, now we formed a breaker here and a fair value gap, so this is a high probability area for longs. Right, so we made a hot, well, let's go to the 1 so you can see it. Low, high, lower low. This is the low, high, and then the lower low. So this is now a breaker. So in theory, this is a breaker and an order block, and it should allow price to move higher. If you guys know ICT structure, that's how it works. This breaker should continue us up to the top of this 4 hour. Whoops. Let me make sure I didn't move anything there. Oh, what the heck? This is the top of the 4 hour. Yeah, so you see how there was a complete lack of displacement above this high? I mean, there was a lot of displacement, no lack of it. That tells me we're going up to here. If we get a pullback here to like here, for example, we could try a sell and a take profit up here. Whoops. Not a terrible RR trade. Let's see what the risk reward would be on it. I don't know if we're going to get it, but if we do, it'll be a 2.21, risking 265 to make 470. Not too shabby. So now that the market has more revealed itself to me here, that is the only reason I would consider this, because this is now a breaker with a fair value gap as support. So again, I would need a pullback for that to happen, but this is the draw in my opinion. Top of the 4 hour. Yeah, looking back, this wasn't a bad 1 minute, but again, doesn't fit my criteria. I wanted this sell side first. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. 2-minute also got inversed there. If we bought here, it'd be a $220 move. 300 from here. Should we try a 1-to-1, guys? If we get a trade back into this area? Again, I think this is a breaker, and I think the move is here, so I think we'll try it, guys. If we get a retracement back to there, we'll do it. I don't think we will, but let's see what we get. It looks like it's just gonna push here. You know what, I'll just do this. It's not a great RR, but I think it'll work if we get a buyback. Hopefully we get the long. Hopefully we get tagged in here, and then we'll take a $200 profit if it gives it to us, obviously. Okay, so we're tagged in there. 5-minute looks meh. Again, this is not high probability, guys, or the highest, but I still think it will work. And again, this is only an eval trade. This is not a cash account trade. And the theory is that we're going to rebalance the top of the 4-hour here. Okay, so you guys could potentially take some partials there if you want. As soon as we take out this buy side, I'm going to move my stop to break even because this is very high risk. Okay, so moving stops to break even here. And take profit again will be the top of the 4-hour. I'll move it a few ticks below just in case we get stopped out. Just in case we don't hit the exact high. Okay, I'm going to close it here, guys. I'd rather just take the profits. Okay, so that's 120 for the day, so not too bad so far for a scalp. But again, we could have some manipulation here where we go up and then go down and then take out the 4 hours. So I'd rather just take profits when I have it. Did anyone else take that? It's interesting too because we bounced off the 50% level of the day, of the daily fair value gap. Damn, nobody took that. By the way, guys, I know I sound a little bit slow, it's because I'm trying to whisper. I'm not trying to be overly energetic here right now. It's going to be like that, unfortunately, for a while, because I do have people sleeping here, but it is what it is, right? And we should get the high swept here. But again, we could have this manipulation, so I'd rather not get chopped out and just take profits when I have them. All right, so there it is. 4 hour getting swept and no lack of displacement. So lots of displacement out of that 4 hour. So that's a pretty bullish sign if you ask me. Tells me we're probably going to go back up to here today. Again, we could easily get retracements in this 4 hour before then. We could maybe get a little 1 minute short scalp, but this looks very bullish to me. So another scalp you could try, guys, if you didn't take the long that I just took. If this inverses, you could get a short setup that comes back and takes out this low right here, which I think actually will happen right now if I had to guess. But again, I'm not interested in taking that personally, especially because this 1 minute now is not obvious. So I'd want to see a 1 minute that traders would be like, you know what, this should be support for the market, and then it doesn't act as support and takes us to this internal low. So 1 for 1 on the day. Oh, we also have an hourly, by the way, guys. I didn't even notice this. So this is the hourly fair value gap. That could easily be tested as well. So that high would potentially be the rejection point as well. So there were two options. Either it was the 4 hour, like I showed you guys right here, or the 1 hour, which is right here. So now this could potentially be that reversal zone. If we get a lack of displacement at the highs, you could look for reversals potentially down to the data low. Potentially. I'm not saying that's going to happen yet. We'd have to see a clean 1 minute and then an inverse right here. So something like this. A really nice 1 minute, right? And then a crazy move back down. We could retrace and then at least target this low. That's what I could potentially see happening here to stop out some traders. Right? But we'd have to see a 1 minute inverse here and a very bullish looking setup that immediately gets closed back below. And then a fair value gap, retest, and then it would look for a retracement to here at minimum, and then you would look for a retracement down to the data lows. Those are the two options. And again, remember, we're super high up here on the hourly and the 4 hour, so we could easily get manipulation here and at minimum test these data lows. Definitely possible. Definitely possible. Yo, is anybody on it taking a live trade right now? Did anyone take that trade I took, or are you looking for a reversal setup? Do you guys even trade NQ while we're waiting for a setup to form? Yo, Simon, good morning. I was telling them that I'm whispering right now because I have people sleeping. It's because I'm back in LA, so it's very early here and I'm not trying to wake anyone up. So I'm not going to have the same energy that I normally have when I'm trading in the hotel rooms. But we just took a scalp. We had this 4 hour fair value gap here that I thought was going to test the highs of, and we took a scalp from here. Just like a quick 120 bucks, nothing crazy, but again, it was only on an eval, so. Yeah, I just got back a couple, what is it, last night? 2 nights ago? I don't even remember. But luckily, the time zones, for whatever reason, I didn't sleep much in the plane, and I was able to. It was nighttime when I got back to LA, so I'm pretty much back to normal. I mean, I'll see the next few days how I feel, but yeah, luckily the jet lag wasn't bad. But I know the jet lag can be pretty bad from Thailand. So in theory, guys, let's see if there's any fair value gaps here that form. This is a 3-minute, so this could potentially act as support to continue us higher here. But Simon, are you looking for any trades today? Or anything you're looking to add? If you guys looked at Bitcoin, it's going crazy after we inverse this daily fair value gap, which I called on X, by the way, if you guys didn't know. We have all this LRLR here, so a ton of low resistance liquidity. I think in the very near future, Bitcoin will make new all-time highs. And if you guys were in the Discord, you know that I was calling for ads here in the low 50s. I added here, I added on this drop, I added on this drop, and I added on this drop. Literally every low that we've made, I've added in the Discord. Oh. Anybody in anything or looking for any trades? Again, I think we're going up to this hourly fair value gap on NQ. ES just made a new all-time high again, so we're making another all-time high. Craziness. So ES is reacting much stronger than NQ is. But again, I think at minimum we're going up to this hourly fair value gap high. And then potentially the daily high, and then final target for me would be rebalancing the daily fair value gaps high. This is a very strong reaction here, and it's tough because this looks very bullish, but we could easily manipulate and chop in this 4-hour fair value gap and hourly. So be very careful with longs, guys. That is just my opinion. And I don't see an actionable setup right now. Maybe your setup is here, but I don't see anything personally. And we have so many fair value gaps here, it's hard to even look for a reversal down to sell side. We have this retail bull flag that's forming here. Yo, is anybody in an NQ trade? Or did anyone take an NQ trade here? Did anyone take this 1-minute fair value gap that I did not? I told you guys live why I didn't, right? Because I wanted sell side first. I wanted this to sweep the sell side and then get the inverse, but I'm curious if somebody took that 1 minute. Ooh. Guys, we got 15 minutes till market open, so we should see some bigger movement there. QQQ has obviously a huge gap up. It looks like we're close to, we're gonna make all-time highs on NQ, but again, not in the business of taking long swings here. You could easily get destroyed, so not a good idea in my opinion. How's ES looking on the 1 minute? So same thing, we're forming this kind of 1 minute bull flag, but again, I would never long this. The thing, also one thing to note, guys, by the way, when we hit all-time highs in the market, typically we see continuation. So like if you take a Fibonacci tool, let's use the fibs, and you mark it from, like, for example, high to low of a leg, and you pull retracement fibs, sorry, low to high, this is typically where the market will go. So we'll look for like the 2.5 Fibonacci. So mathematically, the algorithms will move price up to these Fibonacci levels, the 2, 2.5, 1, 1.5. So at minimum, I think we're going to these levels on ES because we're at all-time highs. This is only a tool that works at all-time highs. Nothing that, I mean, you can use this for uh, legs within the range, but when we escape out of the highs of the market, then you're looking for these retracement fibs potentially. How's C3AI doing this morning? This is a swing we took in the Discord. I added at 26.60. So we're pretty close to break even here on this trade. But why did I like this trade, if you guys are wondering? We have this monthly, so we took out all this sell side. We're declining on declining volume, so we're going down on the market with declining volume, which is a very important signal if you guys didn't know. If you read the book Volume Price Analysis by Anna Cooling, if you get the market going down on declining volume or up on declining volume, that's an anomaly. We're close to inversing this monthly fair value gap. On the weekly, we have inversed this fair value gap. And yeah, I just think at minimum we're going to go to this internal buy side and then hopefully this internal buy side. So that's a really good swing. If you guys haven't added that, I would suggest doing your research and then potentially adding. Wow. I don't know if you guys saw this, but everybody was talking about that robo-taxi event, the Optimus, and whether it was running on AI. And apparently the collection of chip bags and stuff, all of that, and the drinks was AI. And now it can walk upstairs. Crazy. If you're not bullish on Tesla, I feel bad for you. Like, if there's any company with a crazy RR here, like, it's almost riskier not to invest in Tesla, in my opinion, than to invest. Again, not financial advice, but what they're doing is unbelievable. Oh, let me look at the 2-minute quick. Nothing I like here. This 3 is acting as support, but I think we'll probably come back and retest some of these fair value gaps here. Like, for example, this one. In fact, I'm going to take that. So this is a very tiny scalp. My stop will be here. But in theory, we should come down and retest this 5-minute. Not a good RR, but again, it's pretty probable to happen, so I'm willing to take the risk. Let's look at the 1 minute quick. It would be right here, right? So this in theory should act as a rejection, but I'm gonna move my stop to break even very quick on this, guys, because this could easily reverse here. Yeah, so I'm gonna let that be the last high. I don't want to see it come back above that high. So I'm willing to take a small L here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get stopped here, guys, but let's see. Maybe we scalp to this low. That's what I'm gonna do, guys, just in case I'm wrong, because I don't like that we're not delivering immediately here. Yeah, I'm gonna get stopped. Okay, so that's a stop on the scalp, but the win we had was bigger, so we're all good so far. Oops. Probably still happens, but again, it is what it is. It's part of trading, right? Managing risk is important. And there it is. So we would have been profitable still, but could care less. 5 minute. What is this account at? 50,250? Wow, I gotta up the ante here, bro. I'm not making any money on this. Or not enough. I think you pay with an eval, it's like 30 bucks a month if I'm not mistaken. Okay, there's some down moves. 5 minutes till market open, guys. So hopefully we'll get some better action then. So this 2 minute is about to inverse. Again, there was no obvious liquidity taken on the upside, but in theory, this should work down to these internal lows. I would never take this because, again, I'm looking for this hourly to get taken first, but this could easily work to rebalance this 2 minute. So trade would look like this, guys. It's a 1.5 to 1. So not great, but not terrible. What is a 3? And we're about to inverse a 3, which means we could come down to here. But again, guys, we're not taking anything else here because we have 3 minutes till market open. So. Yo, by the way, guys, there are 3 people watching this, all right? And there are 0 likes. Wow, 1 like. That means 33% of you like the stream. Damn, that's shade. Okay, I think we're probably going to go down to these lows now, guys, if I had to guess. But again, market opens in 1 minute, so we will watch and see what happens. You're late for a high probability setup. Oh, let's go. Wow, 3 people like that. Thank you so much, guys. Real homies. I appreciate that. All right, guys, 30 seconds till market open. It looks like we'll probably come down and balances 15, maybe, before continuation higher, which would be this low right here. But let's see what we get. And then it's also probably a 5-minute fair value gap. Yeah, it is. And there is the rebalance. Wow, very nice down candle. This doesn't look bad, honestly. It doesn't look terrible. So we have a bunch of order blocks here, right? We have this 10-minute fair value gap, and the target for me is up here. So if we get this 1-minute inverse, this will not look bad for longs up to here. Take profit 1 would be at this internal high. Wow, my computer is lagging. I need to get a new computer or something. I don't know what's going on with it, but and then the second take profit would be up here. So let's see what we get, guys. Currently balancing this 15-minute. We might even get data lows here, to be honest. But again, I would never take that. So this is the 1-minute fair value gap here now. Well, hasn't formed just yet. We'll wait for 632, which is just coming up now. Wow, guys, I can't believe how laggy this is. I don't know if it's my computer or what, or the fact that I'm streaming that's like messing with my trading view. But so this is the long I'm considering. Again, it's 2 minutes into market open. I'd prefer to wait until the macro, which is at 950. But this data low looks pretty glaringly obvious right now as a target. Potentially we can swing below it and then take longs as a reversal, but we will have to wait and see, guys. But it looks like this is going to drive us down to sell side here. As long as we inverse this 15, which doesn't happen until 9:45, so we have time. So this is not going to be an inverse I would take. First of all, I don't trade the 15-minute chart. I only trade the 5-minute and below. But yeah, there's too much volatility and potential for this to reverse, so I would never take this short. Though I do think this is probably likely to hit. Wow, just this move is 390 bucks. That's not bad. But again, guys, I think this data low is going to hit right now, just based on what's going on here. Anybody in a short? Binoj, are you shorting, bro? If you're still even in the stream. Yeah, this looks really bearish, guys. I am not going to lie. If I sell here, wow, that's a $470 move. That's insane. So guys, if we sweep this data low and then we make a big reversal up here, this would be a good long in my opinion. Or hopefully we get one down here and then we would take a partial at this 1 minute and then we take more at this high. So let's see what we get here. If we get a nice 1 minute, guys, after sweeping sell side, first TP would be this internal high, and then second TP would be much higher up. So up here. Yeah, this looks really good, guys. This 1 minute looks excellent, in my opinion. This looks A+. But again, we do have some lows here, so we have to see what happens. Wow, I can't stand how slow this computer is acting right now. Cannot stand it. I don't know. Today could also be a sell day, guys. Definitely could be a sell day. Let me just look and see if we have any. So again, this could easily chop around in this 4 hour. I mean, in this 1 hour. We could rebalance this hourly first. We have another hourly right here. Excuse me. So let's see if this gets respected. It looks to me like we're going to drive down into this hourly for value gap. If I had to guess, gun to my head, that's where I said I'm saying we're going. Complete lack of, yeah, this is going lower, guys. I think we're going all the way down to 2405. Binoj, by the way, if you're still here, this is your ad zone, if I'm not mistaken, for longs. But is your opinion changed now that we've already taken out highs here? By the way, did we make any equal highs up here anywhere? No, we did not. Are these equal? Oh, wait. These are equal highs, aren't they? Oh, we have equal highs right here. But I would imagine these aren't hitting today, if I had to guess. But let's see what we get. Yeah, guys, this sell side is coming. It's coming. And boom, there it is. How's Tesla doing right now? Let's just open that up quick. And of course, it's down 1%. Okay, so let's see if we get a reversal here. I don't think we are. I think we're heading down for... Oh, so we just tested the hourly for value gap right here. So we could get reversal here, but I'm not gonna say for sure that's gonna happen. I don't think it's for sure. Look at the 3. Yeah, this looks super bearish. I'm not gonna lie. So I want to see more legs here. So if we're gonna get a reversal here, I want to see maybe 2 legs and then a sweep, and then we can go long. But so far nothing. We just took out this internal sell side. We could be going to London too, guys. Could be going to London low easily. I think this just continues to go lower, guys, to these internal lows. So it's a fair value gap here and equal or sell side, and then this is sell side right here. We have midnight below. We'll have to see what we get, but that's what I envision right now. Again, I don't have any targets now. These equal highs could hit later today if we inverse this. Well, this 5 minutes too high for me to even consider that. But if we get some kind of a setup later on to rebalance this 5, we could take some profits in the 5 and then the rest at equal highs, depending on how low we get the setup over here. Yo, Binoge, are you still here, bro? We're in that 20,400 level. I don't know if your opinion has changed now that we've already tested highs. If you would still take longs here, but I think it's super dangerous. Yeah, guys, I am not gonna lie. Today looks like it's gonna be a sell day. It just, to me, it feels like it. But again, I'm not gonna try and predict that, but I'm just saying that if I had to say gun to my head, it looks like a potential sell day. Yeah, and there's no fair value gaps here that I would say are causing a reversal down lower. But we did just test this hourly, so we could see some reversal here. Again, nothing that I would take personally. I think this is a short. I think we're going a lot lower here. Again, don't take that advice, but gun to my head, I think short, but there's no setup. Crazy that I shorted up here too. I shorted this, I got stopped on this candle, and then we never went higher. That was crazy. Let's look at the 3. Okay, so we're rebalancing the 3 minute here. So this could easily be a spot where we reject and continue lower. And we have midnight here that's untested, so we could come down to midnight as well. How does a 2 look? Nah, I don't like anything here, guys. It just looks like this is going to be fuckery. We could come back and test this 5 minute. But again, that's a very high risk scalp in my opinion. I think the draw is lower here. Yo guys, what should I eat today? Since I'm back from Thailand, what's the first restaurant you would go to? Specifically Simon Tester. Well, you're in England, right? You're in London, I think you said. What's your favorite thing to go back to and eat after you come back from Thailand? Okay, guys, I think we'll probably balance this 5 minute if I had to guess. At least, not fully rebalance, but at least test the high of it. So if you really want to take a scalp, you can try this, but again, it is very high risk. So up to this. Wow, that's a $525 move. That's crazy. Yeah, I would not take that personally, but up to you guys. Yo, what's up, Kors? Good morning, bro. Kors, are you in a trade? Any shorts? Back to one of those English pubs for roast beef dinner. Yeah, I think you really have to have a change of flavor. Like, I love pad thai, but after I came back, I can't stand it anymore. I still do like peanut butter curries and green curries and red curries, but I can't do pad thai anymore. You need a change. Yeah, my family made an amazing like a beef stew. So good with mashed potatoes. Such a good change. Kors, what are you looking for, bro? Long or shorts? If you had to, say gun to your head right now. Are you wanting a reversal or do you want a continuation down? I'm gonna guess that we rebalance this 5 first, but again, that's complete gambling. I'm not taking this trade. We could easily reject from any of these 1 minutes. We do have equal highs up here that I'm expecting to possibly hit, but I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do. I did take a scalp this morning. I took a scalp long up here. I tried a scalp short and I got stopped out on the last tick. But yeah, which fair value gap on the upside or the downside? Because I don't see any downside fair value gaps. But a 1 minute inverse here could take us up to this internal. That's for sure. But I do think that we're probably going to be bearish for at least the beginning of at least the morning. I want to see continuation down to these lows potentially. There are equal lows down here and then equal lows down here. Yeah, you're bearish too. Okay. Okay. That's good. I think this is probably bearish. But. So we did completely balance this 4 hour fair value gap, right? That's right here. But we do have an hourly that we didn't rebalance. So we could potentially go up to here still, right? It's possible. Doesn't have to happen, but could happen. But I'm going to delete that for now. So I definitely think that we could be at the highs for the week. If I had to guess, this might be the area where we sell off for the rest of the week. But again, we don't take gamble swing trades like that. Especially not short swing trades. We're looking for intraday moves. What's Motex saying? Oh my god. Okay, guys, so it looks like this 5 is going to get balanced to the upside here. We do have this tiny 5-minute here, by the way, that not a lot of people are seeing, and this could be a rejection to continue us lower. Just a forewarning. Right here, this little 5-minute that not everybody sees. It's not obvious, and that's how I know that it could potentially be a rejection zone. Now, it doesn't have to be, but in my experience, these tiny little 5 minutes that nobody really pays attention to can be a rejection spot. Again, doesn't have to be, but I would never take a trade based on them unless it's like very up high, like up here. Then I would consider it. Wow, I have a friend who had $400,000 in GME. And he finally got out. He held it for 4 years. He finally got out break even. Didn't learn his lesson. He's back in with like 280,000 or something ridiculous, and now GME had a bad day and he's bag holding again. Poor guy. Feels so bad. I try to tell him so many times not to do it, and he still does it every time. He keeps adding. Such an idiot, but can't change his mind, right? So yeah, guys, I think this is probably going to be a rejection. If I had to guess, we could come up to 830 potentially to reject, but I think there's going to be a short setup that forms here. Maybe we can get a 1 minute, but I don't see anything good here so far. So immediate lack of displacement above this internal high. So we could definitely see shorts here, but again, I would never short this low. I'd need to see a rebalance into maybe the 50% of this 5 minute. So right here, if we draw a 50% retracement, maybe at 20,527, we could look for a rejection. Wow, I went to the gym yesterday for the first time in like 3 weeks and did like weights, and it was so stiff. By the way, guys, this is 830 right here, and this is the 50% retracement. So I would expect if we're gonna reverse today bigly, that this will be the area where we reverse from, if I had to guess. We did just inverse this 1 minute, right here. Let me get rid of this gray box. So in theory, this should be the factor that drives us up here, but we could easily have some manipulation down first and then we get it. So this is not a setup I would take because we have a bunch of fair value gaps. So this is not an optimal 1 minute long if I was to give you advice on what to take, which I don't, because this is not financial advice. Cores, how much 4-hour candle makes a daily candle? If that's what you're asking, and there's 24 hours in a day, so it'd be 6 4-hour candles. I like the way you think, Trading Attempt. Is anybody in a live trade right now, just out of curiosity? Because if you are, you shouldn't be. This is a very, very low probability area to be in anything. But I don't know if that's what you're asking, Course. How much 4-hour makes a daily? I don't know. I don't know what you're asking. If that's what you're asking, then yeah, it'd be 6. So we're in a 950 macro, guys, now. If in the 3-minute fair value gap and a 5-minute, not an optimal place to be long or short. Again, I think we're probably going to test 830 here. Because this is a breaker also, by the way, guys. So we have a high, low, and then a higher high. So this is technically the breaker where we would reject for the day, if we're going to reject today. Again, this is a huge down candle, so I'm a little skeptical of it, but in theory, we should reject from this zone. High, low, higher, high. breaker fair value gap. So this is, in theory, this is the breaker right here. Yeah, exactly, trading attempt. 6 candles, 4 hours equals 1 daily. If you guys want to try a scalp, you can to 8:30, but I would definitely not advise it. Again, it's probably going to hit, and we're in a macro time, but got to be careful. Of course, why were you, what was the reason you're asking that? Are you trying to, like, is that like for a strategy or for some kind of a model you're using? So again, guys, I think we'll probably balance 8:30 and the 50% level of this 5-minute gap. Also, the 50% of this whole leg is right here, which we just tested. So this is can easily be a rejection point, or 8:30 will be the rejection point. If we inverse this 5, I think we'll go higher, but again, it's huge. The stop loss will be massive. Nothing here tickles my fancy. Again, we did inverse this 1, so in theory, I think we'll go to 8:30, but the stop loss is pretty big here, and it's just not something I would take. For my model, it doesn't make sense. And the reason I think that we'll continue here up to 8:30 is because we're in this 950 to 1010 macro. That gives it a lot higher of a probability. If you were to long, your stop would be a 1-minute close back below the 1 minute. Take profit would be at 8:30. So you're looking at a 1.38 to 1 trade. So not great, not bad. But on one mini, you're looking at a $635 loss for an $875 gain. So not ideal, in my opinion. But I do think it's probably gonna work. Why is my computer so laggy? That's what I don't understand. By the way, guys, I have taken 2 trades already today on this eval account. 1 bigger win, 1 small loss, so I am net positive on the day. I probably won't take anything unless it's very high probability. And so far, nothing that I'm seeing is ultra high probability. We did get this 50% retracement of the leg, so I wouldn't take longs because we could easily reject from here, but I do think that we're at minimum going to take out 8:30 again, if I had to guess. But again, I'm not trying to take a trade where I have to guess. The more probable situations are the ones I take trades on, where I'm about 90% sure of something hitting, and right now I am not 90% sure of anything hitting. So all these a lot of traders are going to tell you that they know exactly what's going to happen. They think they know what's going to happen, but in the grand scheme of things, if you're not super sure and your heart starts to beat when you're in a trade, you should not be in a trade. So look, if you guys would have longed here, you would have gotten destroyed. So I have to be super careful. Again, I do think that shorts will work today, but we might have some manipulation candles down, retrade to 8:30, and then get the shorts. I don't know if they'll make it easy on us. We'll have to see what we get. If we get this 1-minute inverse, guys, within this other 1 minute, so right here, wow, my computer is lagging so hard. If we get this to close above, then I would probably take a trade to 8:30. I would be willing to risk that. Especially if we take out internal sell side, and then that will be another confluence to move higher. But so far, this looks pretty darn bearish. Core is not based on mathematical theory where you have 24, 4, 6, but the time the market is open and the time the market closes. Well, futures is 24/7. I mean, it does have a, I think it's like an hour where it stops. The weekends it's closed, and then it opens on Sunday in the afternoon. But yeah, a daily candle is formed of 6 4-hour candles. It should sweep that low it created earlier. Yeah, so it just swept that. If we inverse this 1 minute, guys, I will consider taking a long up to 8:30. I think that that's a pretty decent setup if I had to take something. It is a big stop, but I'm willing to try that. Because we're trading from a new week opening gap. We took internal sell side. We took a secondary internal sell side. And a lot of people that are trying to short the market are short from this candle, which tells me that we're probably going to go back up to buy side if I had to guess. So I will take it with one contract if we get it. The limit order right here, if it closes right at the 1 minute, and my take profit would be at 8:30, which is pretty much a $740 win. Stop loss would be a close back below, which is about 660 loss. So it's not a great RR, but this is not a bad setup in my eyes. I do have a feeling though that this is going to reject. I don't think this woman is going to inverse. If I had to say gun to my head. And we have equal lows down here. We have 2 sets of equal lows. On the hourly, we did not quite, but we're almost inversing this hourly. We have a lot of sell side liquidity with it inside of this fair value gap. So definitely looks more likely to be bearish here. But again, if we inverse this 1 minute, I will take it long up to this internal high, because everybody that's been short on this candle has their stop above this high, which means the odds of that hitting if we come back above this 1 minute are extremely high. So that's why the only long I would consider here. But again, we could easily use this as rejection to continue lower. So we'll have to see what we get. And we're in a new week opening gap as well, so that is bullish in itself. That could be support for the market. So we'll have to see what we get here, guys. I'm looking at adding more Ulta Beauty here, but we'll have to see. I'm considering it. I do have a decent position already, so. But if we get below like the 350s, I will consider adding further. That's one of Buffett's buys, by the way, guys. Oxy and Ulta Beauty are the 2 stocks in my Discord that I've added that are Buffett ads. Okay, so we're rejecting off of this woman at IFEG, which tells me we're probably going back to this internal low. And then ideally down to this sell side. Yeah, guys, this looks like it's going to be a sell day. I think we're going to have strong bearish candles down here. But again, there's no setup for me to take a short, so can't do it yet. Did we just leave equal lows here, guys? Let's see. Yeah, we did. We just left equal lows here. That will probably be swept right now. And there we go. Crazy moves. This looks like it's going to go straight down here, guys. If I had to guess, I think we're going straight down to these equal lows. But again, we do have 15-minute fair value gaps here that could just be coming down to rebalance, but not liking bullishness here at all. Yo, Binoge, if you're in here, this is your long zone, bro. to 20,400. Are you going to risk it? Because I'm not. I think we're for sure going lower here. Should I put my money where my mouth is? Nah. But that's a pretty crazy that you can get $895 just off this one tiny move. Just a few points. Yo, guys, don't be wussies. Tell me where you think the market's going. Coors is the only one that puts his neck on the line here. Nobody else tells me where they think the market's going. I'm telling you, I think that we're bearish here, and that we're gonna come down to the sell side. But nobody else wants to say anything, huh? If we make a 1 minute OB here, you could try a sell with your stop above the a close above the 1 minute. I think that would work in this scenario. I'm not gonna lie, but stop would be up here, and then your sell would be down here. That'd be an $870 win for a $500 loss, but super risky. So we're rejecting from a 1 minute, and we're forming this 1 minute OB. But we did take out liquidity, so it's very risky to take shorts here. Just letting you guys know. The only trade I would consider now is a strong close back above this 1 minute, and I would take it up to this high and then 830. That is the only trade I'm looking for here, guys. 1 minute inverse up to internal highs and up to 830. And then your final TP, if you're super risky, would be the 50% of the 5 minute fair value gap. Okay, if you want to try a risky short, this is the spot. If you get a 1 minute close here, but I wouldn't. So again, you could try a 1 minute short here, but it's super risky. I would never take this. But these are equal lows here that I think are going to be the draw. So again, we could just get manipulation here, take out this internal high, and then go down. So it's just not worth it to short this low. Again, guys, if you are just joining in, the only setup I'm going to take, if we inverse this 1 minute fair value gap, I will take a long up to internal buy side and then 830 open, which is right here at $20,517.50. So you see now the market, the algorithms are trying to take people out that are short here by moving up to this high most likely, or going close to it and then coming down. Very risky being in a position here. My wrist. Do we have any more news today? Let's look at the calendar quick. So we have orange folder news at 11. We have crude oil coming out at 11. So in about an hour we have crude oil. So that could be the driver that brings price down. By the way, guys, if we inverse this 1 minute, you could take your entry long, stop to break even at this high or this high, and then you could hold runners up to 830. So that would look like this, right? This is the 1 minute fair value gap that is holding price down right now. Everybody who's short has their stops above this internal high and this internal high. So the long would be an entry here. Stop loss is a 1 minute close back below. Take profit at this internal high and then stops to break even at this internal high. I don't think that's going to happen just based on what I'm seeing here. I think the move is short here. Are these equal highs here too? Oh, or did this take it out by 1 tick? Yeah, we took this out by a tick, so those are not equal. But yeah, that is what I'm seeing right now. For those of you who are looking for anything, I'm only considering longs here. But you guys do you. Very dangerous to short when we're close to all-time lows like this. Not all-time lows, but low of day. And sweeping all this liquidity and at the low of a 4-hour fair value gap. You have to be super careful. But in theory, I think these equal lows will hit. But there's a difference between taking a trade that you think is going to hit when it's super high risk and watching something. So we watch when something is extremely high risk. We watch it. If it's high probability, we take the trade. This is not high probability trading. It's gambling, in my opinion. By the way, if anyone's in a trade here, I'm curious to know what you guys are in and why. Or if you even trade NQ. So we just took out another internal low. If you're short here, your stop should be at break even or close above this 1 minute fair value gap right here. Cores, is there a FEG below your FEG? What do you mean? To the left of the charts, like back here? We're trading in an hourly fair value gap right now, and there is an hourly fair value gap below. My guess is that the draw is midnight, though. We do have this order block here that could be support for price. But again, this is not a high probability area in my eyes for me to really want to take anything. But are you talking about on the what time frame fair value gap? Okay, so we just inverse this 1 minute, or we're about to. If we inverse it, you could try a scalp up to this high. I wouldn't suggest it though. Don't think it's high probability. So we're rejecting so far off of this 1 minute, which in theory should bring us down, but sometimes they don't make it this easy. They'll bring us back up to this high, then they'll reject it, or they'll bring us close to the high and then reject it. Again, if you don't believe the markets run on an algorithm, I'm telling you right now, it's all computer code. This is designed to make people lose money. I'm going to get rid of this 4 hour just so things are more clear. This to me looks like we're potentially going back up to buy side here to stop out shorts before they make them move lower. But again, not in the business of timing that because we could just reject the 1 minute here. But just take notes of this, guys. If we inverse this 1 minute, look for this internal high to get swept. All right, I'm gonna take it for research purposes, but my stop will be right here. And my take profit will be at this internal high. Terrible RR. All right, so we got stopped on that. But yeah, that's the manipulation I'm talking about. Is in theory this should have taken us up to this high, but and we inverse this 1 minute, so just a lot of manipulation. Probably will take us back up there anyways, but again, we have to protect downside when we're so close to these lows. Of course, did I answer your question about the FEG? I don't know which time frame you were talking about. So we should go up to this high now, guys. But again, none of this is high probability trading. Of course, which time frame are you talking about? When you ask, is there a fair value gap below your fair value gap? Which time frame are you talking about? So there's the internal high that got taken. I just got stopped out on that, unfortunately, with this wick. But that's all right. The 1 minute. This is the only 1 minute fair value gap I was looking at here. But I'm talking about if this 1 minute gets inversed, I mean, then we could look for a stop, a break-even trade at this high or this high, and then we could take profits at this high. And we're also in a new week opening gap, so this could be a rejection zone. This could be accumulation, manipulation, and distribution on the 1 minute. But again, I don't like using AMD on tiny time frames like that. Yeah, it's actually incredible how algorithmic the markets are. People think that everything is random, but it's not. Everything is run on a code. The same thing with crypto markets too. People don't believe that these things can be controlled, but I'm telling you right now they are. Okay, so this stop is really big, guys, but if this 1 minute gets inversed, I think at minimum we're going to go up to this internal high right here. Right here. But this is the 3 minute that we're rejecting right now. So that could be where the short comes in, but no 1 minute gap here, so not something I would take. Two-minute. This is a nice 2 minute too, but I would wait for the 3. So I would wait for this 3 minute to inverse, and then look for a stop to break even at this high and then this high. Yeah, not the best setup, but it's not terrible. It's also a really small 3 minute, so it's hard to put your stop loss in because you could get wicked out. We have 3 minutes left until the close. Did the 2 minute close above? No, it did not. We also have a 5 minute here, so if that 5 minute closes above, we'll look for this internal high. Oops. So look for this internal high, guys. If I had to guess, I think that's going to hit. But again, we have this new week opening gap here that's holding price down now. It's now support turned resistance because we closed below it. So be super careful here. Yeah, Coors, I don't think that's a terrible idea. But again, just be aware of this new week opening gap. A lot of people don't use these in their charts, but you have to realize that they can be a savior. When you're looking for 1 minute scalps, be very careful that we don't reject from new week opening gaps. 2 minute, still no inverse above. 3 minute is going to close at 21. So if it closes above here, you can move your stop to break even or take profits at this high. What's easy to control with coding? The algos or like a trading model or something? Again, guys, I think the draw here, based on the fact we just inverse this hourly, is probably lower, but we could get some scalps here. So like this 3 looks really good. In fact, maybe I'll wait for the candle close. How's the 5 minute looking? Oh, the 5 minute inverse, guys. I'm gonna take this long quick. Take profit is gonna be really quick at this high. And then stop loss will be down here. I think this high is gonna get hit. As a very quick scalp, and I think I'll move my stop to break even here. And we just missed the high. Hopefully we hit it. And we get stopped out here almost. Wow, I can't believe we didn't get stopped on that. Hopefully it holds. Come on. At least hit the internal high. And why do we think that, guys? Because the 5 minute and the 3 minute are inversed here. And wow, I cannot believe that didn't hit. All right, we just got taken out of the trade. So that was a quick little scalp, guys. So far we are, what? We have, I think we're 2 for 4, but we're net positive, so that's good. So again, why did I take that trade? We inverse the 3 minute here. and we inverse the 5-minute here. So in theory, that moves the price algorithmically up to the next internal high. If we inverse this 1 minute, I will take another long, and my stop will be, my first take profit will be this buy side, and then secondary take profit will be this 8:30 open. But we could easily reject off this 1 minute here, so be very careful. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get I have a coffee, a Jello coffee. I'll be right back. That I made. All right. Oh, so I don't know if you guys heard this, but in Thailand and a lot of spots in Asia, they have this thing called jelly coffee. It's gelatin and coffee, so it's like a snack that you eat, but you can get caffeinated with it. And so I ordered gelatin here and made it myself, and I swear to you, so what you do, you take instant coffee or whatever coffee you brew, you add 1 cup of coffee, so whatever, coffee and water, 2 tablespoons of gelatin, or 1.5 tablespoons, and then you can add like a sweetener, like add maple syrup in it. It tastes like a flan. Like, it's so good, and it's full of protein, because gelatin is super high in protein, and it helps your gut. So I add a little bit of raw milk to it and maple syrup. Bomb. So if you hear me chewing, tough luck. Might be like ASMR. Should I mute it while I'm chewing? So guys, so far rejection on the 1 minute. But if we inverse this one, take a long up to this internal high and then this 8:30. It's a very high likelihood that you'll take a winning trade here. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna mute it every time I eat, so you guys don't have to listen to me chewing on Jello. But again, if this 1 minute inverses, is it a 2 minute as well? That's a 2 minute as well. Is it a 3 minute? Yeah, so there's a lot here. Whichever one you prefer, I think maybe depending on what the 1 minute close is like, we could take a long, but ideally you're gonna have higher odds of success if you wait for the 2 or the 3. And then if we form an order block within the fair value gap here, this could be, to lower your stops, you could have a hard close below the order block instead of waiting for a 1 minute fair value gap close. By the way, guys, this is kind of putting my neck on the line, but I think this gap down in Tesla is close to the lows that it's going to have. I'm not going to, I don't want to go crazy and say for all time, but I think that it's possible that we are close to all-time lows for Tesla. Not financial advice, but if you don't invest in Tesla yet, I don't think this is a bad place to start. All right, back to eating, and we'll look at the woman NQ chart. Wow, guys, so big rejection there off that 1 minute. So this is why you always wait for the inverse. Don't try and front run it, because you can easily get rejections like this. So be very careful. Are these equal highs? No. Anybody in a trade here? Anyone in a long from these lows? Crazy that this 1 minute inverse worked. So low probability. And I got stopped on this wick. I would have been basically 3 for 4 on the day. But that's alright. So if this 1 minute gets inversed, you can try it, but just realize that this is the 1 minute holding down price. So I would only take the long if this 1 minute inversed. This is a little bit lower risk because you can move your stop to break even at this high, but not my cup of tea. Anybody in a trade here? Are you guys going to wait for this 1 minute to inverse? Or are you going to wait for this 1 minute? I'm telling you right now, this is not the high probability trade this is, but I'm curious if somebody would consider this 1 minute inverse instead of this one to take to this internal high. Alright, that's done. Wow, I'm wired now. Got the caffeine in my system. Oh. Okay, so if you really want to try a 1 minute, if this inverses, you can take it from here, and then you have a better RR, but the real trade is waiting for this 1 minute, in my eyes. Excuse me. Yeah, looking back, guys, this setup really wasn't bad. This 1 minute right here after taking internal sell side, but I just really wanted the data lows. I think I will take this type of thing in the future because at least moving your stop to break even at this high is not a bad idea. But knowing that my bias was bullish, yeah, I probably should have taken that, but it is what it is. I really wanted that sell side liquidity, that data low to get swept first, but you can't win them all, right? Cores or Binoge, what are you guys looking at right now? Or trading attempt? Anybody want to go long or short? Okay, guys, so this 1 minute is about to inverse. If you take this, you would... Wait, are these equal highs or am I tripping? No, they're not equal highs. Oh, damn, Binoge, you took a... Did you take a long at your supply zone or whatever? The 20,400. I mean, it wasn't bad. It still worked, but... No way, you got auto-liquidated? What, do they send like an email out to everybody and then you just didn't see it or something? That's crazy. When did they change the margin policy? Over the weekend or something? Okay, so far rejection from this one. So mad it's been going on ever since I started withdrawing funds. I have noticed it. This is also rigged. Damn, bro. Is this on a... is this on a cash account or a funded account? I guess, I mean, if it was on a cash account and you noticed it when you were withdrawing, yeah, I figured it was a cash account. What's the margin policy? What's the margin requirement for one NQ contract? Oh, and also one thing I want to show you guys too. TLT. Okay, it's down on the day today. We had a pretty decent push yesterday after taking out this internal sell side. My guess is based on CPI reports and inflation going up now. I don't think the Fed is going to be cutting rates again. They might do a 25 basis point, but either they're going to stay still or do nothing at the next Fed meeting. And that is not going to be great for TLT. If I'm being honest, again, I did tell you guys that we were adding in this area. I took most of my profits at this internal high at 100.57. I did add here, but based on what's going to happen with the Fed over the coming weeks, if they don't raise rates anymore, or if they slow down the rate, the amount of rate cuts that they do in comparison to what was projected, then TLT is going to suffer. So just a heads up, guys, that if you are in TLT, I would not be adding heavy just yet, because if inflation continues to go up and unemployment doesn't go higher, then a stimulated economy is not a time for the Fed to be cutting rates. And if they don't cut rates, then bond yields are going to skyrocket and bond prices are going to tank further. And that would mean that we could go all the way back down to this sell side liquidity at 87. So be cautious about adding TLT at this point if I were you. Just a heads up. And if anyone has any questions on bonds and how they work, you can ask them. I know it's not the sexiest topic, but bonds are one of the most lucrative ways to make money in the markets. The bond market is actually a lot larger than the stock market. Most people didn't know that. It's way bigger. And the bond market typically signals moves that'll happen in the stock market before they do. The bond market is normally more reactive to economic policy, and it typically signifies things that happen before they do. Or it's a better indicator for when things will happen. So just a heads up, guys. Yeah, and Vinoj, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. That sucks. But I'm still curious to know what the margin requirements are for NinjaTrader for an NQ contract, because you shouldn't be getting liquidated unless they give warnings. I don't know how they would auto liquidate a cash account. That sounds kind of crazy to me. I mean, if you're trading with really big size, like a lot of NQ contracts, then I get it, because eventually you're going to get some kind of a liquidation. But yeah, it's super important to be aware of what that is, or you're going to get smoked. So right now we're using the new week opening gap as support potentially. Only trade that I will consider, guys, is this 2-minute inverse up to this internal high. Simon, UK just sunk to 1.7 inflation, but the rub is that 2025 state benefits are calculated on this month's inflation, so the government interest to have a lower month right now. So it's in government interest to have a lower month. Yeah, and people don't realize a lot of this data is like manipulated. It's not, I mean, people do realize that, but so many of these numbers don't include aspects of inflation that are important. Like core inflation in the US doesn't track energy and rent, I think. But there's just so many numbers that everything is flawed. And yeah, and if it's in the Fed or the government's best interest to make a number appear a certain way, then they'll do it. And then they'll revise it later. Like they do that with unemployment all the time. Yeah, that's crazy. State benefits are calculated on the inflation, so they're trying to keep it low to... That's crazy. So rigged. It's so corrupt and it's so unfortunate. But my hope is that if Trump gets elected and Elon is in control of the government efficiency program, that will be really awesome for reducing the deficit and in turn reducing inflation. And then we have Robert F. Kennedy. This is looking really bullish, guys, by the way. This 2-minute to potentially go up to here, and then your stop to break even would be here, and then you could hold it up to this internal high. In fact, I'm going to try that here, guys. Should I? I'm not going to. Exactly, the numbers are as the government wants them to be, revised in 2 months. Exactly, and they just revise things, and it's just so corrupt. I know, that's the thing. This is what I don't get, Simon, is that... So I believe that there is an elite group of people that have a lot of money that try their best to control the world. But if that is true, why in the hell are you using Kamala Harris as your primary candidate? Like, they're either really dumb or really inefficient. But like, if there's an elite group of people controlling the world, is Kamala Harris your best option? Like, I just don't understand it. People, I'll never get why they chose her. It's just like it's misery. If you guys just listen to her Fox News interview, oh my god, it sounded so bad. Yeah, send me any links, Binoj. I'd love to see it. This 2-minute looks pretty strong, guys. I'm not gonna lie. We have a lot of LRLR forming here, so you do have to be careful. The only thing is I don't like that we didn't take this liquidity. But I would definitely say that this could be used to push us higher. But yeah, not an A+ setup. Nice course. Yeah, there was a decent long. This was not bad. This is the one I took, but I got stopped out on it. What candle? Where did you scalp your 10 points from? What was the model? Did you take this? This 2 minute maybe? I took this 2 minute, I think. I'm so like busy talking that I don't even remember what I took, to be honest. This 1 minute short actually looks pretty good, guys. I'm not gonna lie, down to here. Your stop to break even would be here, and then you could move your take profit down to here. But I don't like all this LRLR, so I wouldn't take this personally. So this is the thing, guys. A trade can look good, like this 1 minute setup looks decent. But the fact that we have all this low resistance liquidity and we have this internal high here that hasn't been taken makes me not take this trade. That's just me. But if you are, your stop to break even would be here, and you could hold it all the way down to these equal lows. Oh, big time, Binoge. BlackRock is the market. And what's the guy's name that heads Black... Ugh, why is my text open on the screen? Yeah, so your stop should definitely be break even here, guys. Just a heads up. Oh yeah, Larry Feinstein or something? Larry Goldstein? I don't even remember what his name is. But yeah, they control a lot, and they're investing a lot of money in Bitcoin, by the way. The only thing I don't like is that they're making it public, which I guess they have to, but I don't like when big companies like BlackRock shill cryptos. Kind of freaks me out. Watched what? I want to see, Binoche. What, is it like a documentary? I feel like I wasted a lot of my years. What, trading? I posted the link. I don't see a link in the comments, but maybe it's just because of my stream. Let me open the actual YouTube page. Okay, guys, so a 1 minute order block is forming here after rejecting a 1 minute for value gap. So if we close below this in the 1 minute, ideally I would have wanted to see it with one candle, but that could be a short. But again, not high probability in my eyes. Let me open the... Binoge, are you profitable with your day trading? Binoge, are you profitable? When you say you wasted a lot of your years, I'm assuming that means that you're not, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't see a link in the comments. I don't know if maybe it just didn't show up. If they reject it. By the way, guys, if you haven't liked the stream, please do. It really helps more people see it. And if you don't, you're lame. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so far they're really making these shorts difficult. But in theory, this should be the last line of defense. This would be where the short would go. So if you short from here, for example, from this high, your take profit would be down here. But again, I would never short this because we're super low and we have all this LRLR. So not my cup of tea. Oh, on Discord you sent it. Oh, yeah. I'm literally on it on my screen, but my brain didn't even process what I was looking at. Let me see what... The truth about BlackRock. Okay, I'm gonna make a note to watch this. How long is it? Let me see. Doesn't have a time on it, but I'll make a note. Yeah, YouTube is really sus. The fact that they delete links as they come up on things they don't want people to know about, pretty crazy too. There's a lot of stuff in this world that I think would be a lot better if we didn't have this crazy group of people controlling stuff. And who knows? Maybe they're censoring this live stream for all I know. Maybe if I talk about this stuff, I get less viewers. But I don't care. Who knows? That's not something that I worry about. It's impossible for me to control that. Net neutrality for sure, for sure. So guys, this is that last line of defense on the 1 minute. If you want to take a short, this would be the fair value gap to do it from, especially because we're rejecting this new week opening gap. And then your take profit would be the equal lows right there. But I have a feeling that they're gonna do the max pain situation where they take out this internal high first. So if we get, okay guys, so if we get this inverse, I'll take this, okay? If we inverse this 1 minute, I will take that long. Because I know that we're very likely to run all of this LRLR and then probably take out this internal high. So it would look like this. A buy would be above this fair value gap. So it's a very small stop, and your take profit would be, if you have two contracts, one would be here and one would be here. I am just going to hold it up to maybe the body of this candle. It's $1,095. No, they will come for my stop loss first because I'm long. Right now you're long? See, this is the thing, Daniel, and I used to trade like this when we had these areas of supply, but right now there are two very possible scenarios here. Number one is that we go down to sell side, which is very possible, but if we inverse this 1 minute, I know that market structure is a very high probability that market structure is changing, and that this low resistance liquidity will be run because all the people that are short have their stops up here. So I will only take longs here. We're too low to short, but I would never just take a long randomly in a supply zone. I want confirmation of my long first. Yes, you're getting a decent RR. It's better than mine, but there's also a very high chance that we run this first. So that's why I wouldn't be long here, especially because we're rejecting this new week opening gap. So yeah, you have to be really careful with taking longs here. Binoj, I'm curious, what are you just trading off of, like a supply zone? Or is this a fair value gap you see from the left that's causing you to buy here? We do have this 15 minute, if that's what your reasoning for adding, but I would be very cautious here. This looks like we're going down to the sell side. $15-minute for value gap. Yeah, it's just not high probability enough for me, but I hope that it works for you. I just think that this is probably the draw right now. Only way that I will say that you're going to be correct is if this 1 minute inverses, because I know that structure is shifting and that all these shorts will get stopped out, and ideally these shorts will get stopped out as well. So That's why I always wait for confirmation. I used to take fair value gaps like that, but very hard for me to do that these days because of how many times I just got wrecked. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. No 2 minute. When I say confirmation, this is the fair value gap that's holding down price right now. This 1 minute. And it's also stopping us from testing all this low resistance liquidity. So by confirmation, I mean I need to see a candle close, a 1 minute candle close above this fair value gap. Once that happens, I know that the market structure has changed and that all this low resistance liquidity, this trend line is going to get taken out, and then ideally this is going to get taken out. So once I get a 1 minute close above this fair value gap, I'll take it long up to here. In fact, I think now is going to be when that happens, but again, I can only take it once this 1 minute closes above. Now, in theory, this is that shift in market structure because we've been making lower highs, and now we're making a higher high. But this is that final the bearish PD array that I need to see inversed. So 1 minute close above this fair value gap. And then, so it looked like my limit order would be somewhere here. It would be a $440 stop to make 1,100. It's sold from the FVG. What FVG? What FVG course? Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. All right, so far, looks like a potential shift in market structure. Again, I want to see that 1 minute inverse. Yeah, of course, we have to see something change. I mean, the best scenario here would be a drive down below the sell side and then a really nice inverse to take out all this low resistance liquidity. Because this seems like the draw. So you have to be careful, but at the same time, a lot of people are short right now, and this will stop them out if we can get a trade back above here. That right there, what does that mean, Course? Okay, so guys, this looks like we're going to get a long setup here, in my view. Yeah, I took it once the wicks got taken out in the while the FEG was being inversed. Got you. Okay, so very lack of displacement above these highs, so could be that we drive down here, but again, I would never take this short personally. Anybody short? Is anyone going to short this right now? Or are you going to be smart and wait for confirmation like me? Again, it doesn't mean that my trade is always going to work, but I know statistically if this 1 minute inverses that we're going up to at least this internal high. So, yeah. And again, you have to be patient, so I'm going to be very patient and wait for the setup to form. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. So let's check the other time frames and see anything. So, oh, this is the trade that I took. This 5 minute inverse up to this internal high. So that was actually a good trade. We just formed equal highs in the 1 minute, but they're right next to each other, so I don't take them that seriously. Guys, we're also in a 1050 macro. If you guys don't know about macro times, 950 to 1010, 1050 to 1110, 1150 to 1210. They're algorithmic time zones where price tends to move. Now, 1050 to 11, I'm not a huge fan of. Sometimes I am, but yeah, I would definitely prefer the 950 to 1010 macro, and then after lunch is ideal as well. But guys, I'm going to probably get off after this 1110 macro, but if we take out this sell side first, then I'll stay on for a potential reversal up to internal buy side here. So let's see what we get. They buying Bitcoin let me believe that Bitcoin will keep increasing in price. Of course, I don't know if is English your first language, or are you just really bad at typing? Also, I don't know how far back you're looking, but we were talking about Bitcoin like an hour ago. I'm just fucking with you, bro, but I'm just curious. Is English your first language? No, why'd I get logged out of my Tradevate? Alright, let me log back in, guys. Hold on 1 second. Let me take it off the screen. I don't want anyone seeing my accounts. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, are we about to have... We're about to have crude oil news, by the way, guys. That might move the market pretty high. I've seen it happen before where crude oil moves us... We get a big candle. And that happens in 5 seconds. Binoche, it's my third language, and your English is good. At least your typing skills are good. Chorus needs to work on his keyboard skills or his language skills. I don't know which one it is. Wow, no reaction off of that crude oil news. Interesting. It is Thursday, right? If it's not Thursday, then I'm... Yeah, it's Thursday. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, C3AI is not doing great today, sadly, but that's okay. That's a swing trade for me, by the way, guys. So this is interesting, guys, by the way. This right here, this pattern looks very similar to Bitcoin on the daily chart. What do I mean? We have this low resistance liquidity and a 1 minute fair value gap. Now look at Bitcoin on the daily right now. Low resistance liquidity and this 1 minute fair value gap. Look what happened when we closed above it. We ripped higher, and we're probably going to rip all of these. So this is what I'm talking about, where the market is algorithmic. Everything is fractal and everything behaves the same way. This daily, if this is a 1 minute chart, I would take this long every day of the week. Look at NQ on the 1 minute here. Low resistance liquidity, 1 minute fair value gap. I take this long every day of the week because the setup is super high probability to run all these highs. It's amazing, and people don't see that resemblance in price. Every asset, almost every asset. I think commodities are a little bit different depending on what it is. Gold, wheat, silver. But even those, they're not a free market. Everything reacts algorithmically. Everything is an algorithmic pattern. That is what I will say. And the fact that we're getting the same exact setup on Bitcoin that we're getting on on NQ. It's just, it all repeats, and people don't realize that. But I hope, my goal with this channel is to open people's eyes to stuff. Cores, the more you talk about certain things, the easier you get canceled. You think they'll cancel my YouTube channel? If they don't cancel ICT for the shit that he says, I think I'm good. Because ICT goes off on more tangents and rants than I do, so. Yeah, guys, this looks like it's going to be a short here. It really does. Just based on what the markets do, but I can't take it. I just can't. I just can't take a short here. Only longs. And we could easily get like a lunchtime intraday reversal. Definitely a possibility. If we close above this 1 minute, that's not a bad scalp to hear in my eyes. But again, can't take anything. I want this sell side to get taken, and then I'll look for a reversal. But look at all this LRLR, guys. Take a trend line and draw it across here. You will see what I'm talking about. There is so much liquidity resting above all these highs, and at some point today, I think we're going to take that out. Whether it be trading to the sell side first and then getting a huge 1 minute for value gap. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but something looks like this is going to get taken out today. If it doesn't, it's because we're super bearish and we could have a big sell day. But I'm not inclined to believe that that's going to happen just yet. But yeah, we'll have to see what we get. Okay, so here's a big red candle. If you're short, your stop to break even would for sure be at this low, and then I would take a runner up to this high. And I'm looking here, guys, if we get a nice juicy 1 minute for value gap somewhere here, that would be so ideal for long. So like if we get, I don't know, something like this. We get a big down close candle, right? Here, take out the sell side, close above this 1 minute, you take a long. And then you would allow it to come back and trade down to the low of the 1 minute, and then we would come all the way back up to this internal high. That is what I see happening with price right now, potentially. On the 30-second, guys, too, this could easily be a long, but oh, this looks so good for a long. I can't take it because there's no setup for me, and that's just how it is. And especially, guys, if we get another red candle here that closes this whole green candle out, that's even more high probability that we go down. But again, there's no setup here, so as much as I believe something's going to happen, I can't take a trade based on belief. I can only take a trade based on a real setup. It looks like we're going to come back and take out these two equal highs. But again, I can't take that trade. We just have to watch it happen. Because everybody's shorts are above these highs right now. You know what, guys? You see, this is the annoying part about being live with an eval, is that there are so many things that I'm very or they're very probable to happen that I'm almost 100% sure of, but I can't take it. Even if it's an eval, my brain is trained not to take stupid trades. But even though I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen here, but sorry guys, I just can't take it. Can't take it on a live account. Is anyone going long here? Because they see all this low resistance liquidity and this internal high. Because this is the spot for an intraday reversal, just letting you guys know. If it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen here. So, if you're taking this, put your neck on the line and tell us right now. $24.1875. Okay, guys, this is going to probably be the inverse here. If we close above this, I'm taking the long. And it would look like this. Your stop to break even would be here, or your take profit, whichever you prefer. And then your final TP would be up here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So if we don't reject from this area, which is definitely possible, this LRLR should get taken out here. If we inverse this one. Again, guys, wait for the inverse. Yeah, this looks, I'm very positive this is going to be a long here. But again, I can't front run it. Excuse me. So guys, wait for the 2 minute or the 1 minute inverse. I mean the 1 minute, there is no 2 minute. And then you can take your long. And again, stop would be a 1 minute close back below this fair value gap. Binoj, are you still in your long? Just out of curiosity? Because I think you're going to do well here as long as, again, this 1 minute inverse has to close above. I mean, the 1 minute fair value gap has to close above, creating an inverse. Okay, guys, I'm going to enter here, I think. I'm going to chase it. And my stop to break even will be once this internal high hits. And I'm going to put my sell down here. So it is riskier taking it here, but I do think this is at least going to go up to this high. Of course, is really bad at typing. Yo, how delayed are you, Course? Because I talked about that literally like 20 minutes ago. So guys, this is definitely risky because we didn't get the 1 minute close above, but I'm just trying to front run it on an eval. It looks like we're so far rejecting from the new week opening gap, which is a little bit suspect, but that's okay. Let me close this. At minimum, we should go up to this high of this 1 minute gap. So hopefully we at least get that. By the way, guys, I have a little mini schnauzer. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but they're the cutest dogs. Come on, Lou. Let's show everybody. Come on. Oh. Her name is Lulu. Oh, Lulu. Oh, my goodness. Say hello, Lulu. She's very sweet, and I think she needs to go to the bathroom, but... Ooh, immediate rejection from that woman. That's not good. I should have moved my stop to break even there, not gonna lie. So this could be an L here. Okay, so the 1 minute looks like it's gonna close above here. Maybe. Let's see. So once we get to this high, guys, my stop would be moved to break even. Wait, what? Oh my god, I just closed it. I just closed the trade, guys, but this is the entry. Sorry. That was really dumb of me. So your stop would be moved to break even right now. Wow, I don't know how that just happened. Sorry. Binoj, if you're in the long, bro, this is probably going to rip up and take out all this LRLR now. Okay, Lulu. Okay, I'm going to enter back in quick, guys. Wait, did we take out the internal high? Or did we leave equal highs here? So we just left equal highs here. So I will enter again here, guys. And then my stop to break even would be here when we take it out. And then my take profit is going to be up here. So as soon as we hit the equal highs, which we just did, my stop gets moved to break even. And then we just pray that this is a 1 minute order block, and then we continue higher here. Okay, so far nice move. Hopefully we just hold this. My stop will be, my take profit will be up here. In fact, if you're really risk averse, I would take your profit here, but it's up to you. I think I'm going to move it just because of the nature of the day, but up to you guys. We did take out this internal high, so we could reverse anywhere here, but I'm willing to take the risk. Again, my stop is at break even already, so it's a free trade for me. And stopped. So I would not be in this trade anymore, guys, because the equal highs got taken, but it could still easily continue. But again, this LRLR doesn't all have to be taken. Especially when the draw for me is still lower, right? I always wanted the sell side. So you still have to be careful. Looking at the 5-minute, if this 5-minute inverses, guys, after we took out internal highs like this, this could be a decent short if you really are bearish, and your take profit would be down here. So it would look like this. Entry would be here. Stop loss would be a close back above the 5. Take profit would be sell side at 20,339.75. ICT, they know so much and can't trade better than you. You basically learn from ICT, but better than him. That's just lame. In 2017, he talked about if you don't win the Robbins Cup, he's a fraud, and he didn't. Back in 2024, he did the same thing. Yeah, that's the thing about ICT. I think he's an amazing teacher, but it really doesn't. He hasn't proved that he can trade. I mean, basically every trader you talk to, I mean, if they're not providing you with broker statements, like I'm not going to provide you guys with my broker statements, maybe in the future, but you really never know if a trader is profitable unless they provide you with that stuff. And the fact that he hasn't won the Robbins, I mean, it doesn't mean that he's not profitable, but the fact that he says he's going to win it and he's going to do it by 1% more than that guy that made an 11,000% profit, it's just a little odd. But the Noj wants 2515. So this is a breaker, guys. So this is actually a decent setup. On the 3-minute, it's a low, high, lower low. This right here is the breaker / order block, trading into a fair value gap. So this is actually not a terrible long, if you ask me. Low resistance liquidity. Internal high here. But it is lunchtime, so not something I would take. Yeah, that's true, Banoj. I mean, I'll let you guys know when this Tradevate account gets up to what I need, 53,000. So you guys can track this. Right now it's at 50,200. And again, this is an eval, so it's not a lot of risk, but I mean, it's still, it's I guess money on the line. Again, I'm not going to show you my cash or funded accounts. I don't know if I'm even allowed to on a live stream on YouTube. I don't know, but even if I'm not profitable, which I mean, I'm not going to try and convince you of what I am or I'm not. As long as you learn from my teachings and you understand what a good A+ 1-minute, 2-minute, 3-minute setup is, that's all that I care about. And yeah, so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, even if the person that's teaching you is profitable or not. If you're taking stupid trades, the only thing that matters is if you're profitable. So he's a good trader, but come on, you can't have even a 70% win rate. Remember, he's doing this for like 30 years. I mean, yeah. I think if you've been doing this for a long time, you should at least have a 60% win rate. I do a lot of scalping. My win rate is about 65%. Break-even trades, I don't know, 25%. And then losses is the rest. But I think if you are as good as ICT claims to be and you've been doing it for so long and you can call the markets live, and you should have at least a 70% win rate. That sounds respectable. Yeah, of course, none of us have. I think I've been trading for 4 years total now. I mean, I've been investing since I'm 28. I turned 28 in 2 days, October 19th. I've been investing since I was like 18, maybe 19. But as far as day trading and actually learning ICT concepts and inverse fair value gaps, give or take 4 years. Inverse fair value gaps, like 2.5 years. So. Yeah, this is not a bad area to enter longs, in my opinion. We have a breaker, order block, new week opening gap. But I don't like that we took internal buy side. If this 1 minute inverses, you could try it. But it's also lunchtime. So to me, it's not a A+ area to go long. But, you know. Up to you. If this 1 minute inverses, I think that's a decent long to take. But again, the time is not great. We'd have to wait for this macro, the 1150 macro. But it's totally up to you guys on what you want to take. Is anyone else in longs apart from cores? Anyone else looking for a long setup? Yeah, this 1 minute doesn't look half bad. But again, I'm not taking it at lunch, unfortunately. You guys can if you want. On the 3 minute, we do have a bullish breaker within a fair value gap. So this is high probability longs, but I just can't. But of course, props to you, bro, for wanting to go in here. I think that you will probably have success with it. But again, because it's lunchtime, I don't like to take trades here. But that's just me. Also, this could potentially be that 3 minute order block. So we have a bullish breaker in a fair value gap, new week opening gap, bottom of the daily fair value gap, low resistance liquidity, internal buy side. So there's a lot of confluence here for longs. But it's not the right time for me to take a trade, although I do think we're at least going to this internal high, but this could easily be where price moves. It's just not part of my model. My model already happened, so I don't. If I get stopped out on a trade, I don't like to take it a second time. Yeah, of course. Go to. Are you sure on the YouTube video? Does it say that I'm live? Like, if the live button is gray, it means that you're not live. You're looking at a delayed price action. But this definitely looks good for longs here. Yeah, I think you'll be profitable with that, bro. You know what, guys? I'm gonna. No, I can't. I can't. I know this is gonna go here, but if I limit full with a take profit at this internal high, that'll be a $75 TP. All right, I'm gonna scalp this, guys. Oh, well, I just missed it. Did we hit the TP yet? No, we didn't. This is a great scalp. And this high is going to get hit too, most likely, but... Yeah, I sold a round of puts on Tesla the beginning of the week. They're up 57%, so that's nice. My Riot position is doing pretty good. Yeah, doing pretty good on a lot of positions right now for swings, but C3AI is slightly down, but that is the only down trade, and then TLT is slightly down from my average, but still net green on it. And there's the TP. Now, guys, if this 2-minute inverses, we are going to go up to internal highs here, most likely. So keep that in mind. If you're more risk averse, you can wait for maybe the 3. But this should be... I think we're going to go back up to this internal high, if I had to guess. Because a lot of people are short right now, and this is their stop loss. So, of course, I want to see how delayed you are, bro. I'm holding up a peace sign. Right now, it's 8:30 Pacific time. Whoa, what the hell? Balloons? What's that all about? When you see the balloons, comment in the chat box so we see how delayed you are. Where's your TP, Cores? Okay, so we just took out internal buy side and we had a lack of displacement above, so not the most bullish sign for sure. So I told you guys I thought this LRLR was going to get taken out. If we now create a 1-minute order block here and we inverse this 1 minute, then that will be a great long up to this buy side, in my opinion. Nice, Cores. Cores, did you see the balloons? Have you seen the balloons on the screen yet? From my camera? Because if you do, let me know when you do, because then we'll know how delayed you are. So guys, again, if we form a 1-minute OB here and we inverse this 1 minute, this internal high is next, and then 8:30 is probably after that. So we'll have to see what we get here. If you're more risk averse, you can wait for the 2-minute to inverse and then go long. But again, this was the primary objective, this high. This would be the next one. So if you're long, you should have a partial here or full take profit. And if you're really risky, you can hold our runner up to this high. Now, if we want to see confluence, right? We want to see this bearish PD array get violated. If it does, we know that we're very likely to go back up to this high. But if we don't inverse this, then there's no reason to stay in your longs. Or at least at this point, you should have your stops to break even because we took out this internal high. Okay, TLT is actually doing okay on the weekly. Daily, it's getting a rejection. Tesla's still at 219. Wow, Ulta is pushing today. Wow. This I want to add more of. I think this might be the zone, but oh no, I'm not sure yet. Guys, I'm going to take a scalp here, and I'm going to sell at the top of the 1 minute, or maybe a little lower. This is super risky. But I think this is probably going to be a 1 minute OB to take us higher. So as soon as the internal high gets swept, I'm going to move my stop to break even. Okay, stop to break even here. So I could easily get stopped on this, but the idea is that we'll scalp up to this high. Okay, so we got stopped on that for break even. Of course, you are like in another time zone, bro. we haven't talked about ICT in like an hour. He have never proved that he can trade like all of his top students hate that about him. What about his MyFX book? He said he's going to do better than Larry in the Robbins Cup. No one beats Larry, bro. Yeah, probably not. Okay, guys, so you saw how that was a break-even trade. We took out an internal high and we just completely dumped here, so no reason to be in longs, in my opinion. This order block should have been what held price up. Now, on the 3-minute, this is that line in the sand. This should be our protection. We don't want to see the market go below this 3-minute order block. So if you want, you can try a swing here and hold it up to this internal high, but the RR on this trade, if we take a long here, for example, stop as a close back below the mean threshold of the 3-minute, target at this internal buy side. Lulu. Hey, excuse me. Sorry, guys. Shh. Hey, Lulu. There's nobody there, Lou. So, guys, I actually do. Hey, let's go. Get out of here. Come on. No barking. Shh. No barking, Lulu. Hey. Hey. Shh. Yeah, guys, this looks good for a long. Hey, Lila, shush. This looks decent for a long here, guys. But you should have added down here, in my opinion. Stop loss would be a close back below the 3-minute OB, and then take profits would be at this internal high. Shush, Lulu. Should we scalp this up to here? All right, I'm out there for a nice quick hundo. Wow, it's too easy, bro. The market's too easy. So I'm now up to what on this TradeAvate account? 50,350. So not bad. I think we're going up to this internal high and then 830. Lulu, shush. Course. I literally said that my birthday was October. You are way delayed, bro. Is everybody else this delayed? I said that my birthday was October 19th like 30 minutes ago. Course, make sure you're live. Click the live button. So delayed. Alright, I gotta go to the bathroom, guys. Hold on. Alright, what's up, guys? So the 3-minute closed above. So all these order blocks need to be the delivery to move price higher. Now, I don't like where we are time-wise, right? We're not in a macro yet, but in theory, this macro should drive us up to this buy side. Again, we're too high for me to take anything, but made a good chunk of change today. So I'm happy to sit and let the market do its thing. And of course, thanks so much, bro. I appreciate the happy birthday wishes. Coming up. Course, let's go, bro. You're live now. Yeah, it was gray, so make sure it's red. So I'm gonna hold up a peace sign. Comment in the chat when you see the peace sign. Now you're live. You're like 30 minutes behind. If you saw the peace sign, then I know that you're live. Let's go. He's live, baby. So now we're looking at the 3-minute FEG. All right, Simon's live too. So guys, again, this 3-minute fair value gap is just holding down price. We closed above it. So in theory, now we should go back to this internal high right here. That is the draw of the market. But again, if you haven't been long from lower down, I don't think this is the best place to add longs. But yeah, it's up to you guys. Screen adjustment. Oh, what the hell? Why is it doing that? Oh, whoops. Sorry, guys. I completely just messed that up. My bad. Should be good now. I'm playing chess while I'm here, guys. Just a heads up, because I'm done for the day. But I'm just telling you guys, if you aren't done and you want to take a trade, I mean, it's got to be somewhere in this 3-minute, but I don't know what setup you'd be looking for, but in theory, we should go up to at least this high and then this internal high. And then maybe continuation down afterwards. I'm not sure just yet. Can you play chess for money? I mean, I'm sure there's a way, but I've never seen that. Cores, I vary between an 850 and a 950. That's like what my average is. What are your guys' ELOs? Get a chess.com account app. If you get a chess.com account, you can play on your phone. There's an app, and it's so much more efficient, so much easier, in my opinion. But what ELO do you guys? If you guys play chess, what ELO are you? Yeah, especially if you're already done for the day. It's just another way to, like, if you're already done trading for the day, it's just a way to, like, distract yourself instead of having to take another trade. Yeah, Simon, if you have an account, a chess.com account, let me know your username and I'll play you. Let's go. Oh man, I just lost my queen. That sucks. Is anybody still in a trade? Let's see what's going on X. See if there's any new and exciting info. Nothing. Yeah, and there really was not any good setups. Honestly, of all the inverses we had today, there was nothing excellent in my opinion. Looking back at the 3-minute, the 5-minute, the 2-minute, the 1-minute, nothing looks good. Now, granted, we are about to be in a macro. We have this retail bull flag, if you want to call that, after inversing the 3-minute fair value gap, and we have stop losses above this high. So my guess is that when the macro begins, we'll probably get a push up to this buy side. Again, nothing I would take personally. I'm all done for the day. But if you want to take something, you can try scalping this. I don't think it's high probability, but again, that's the beautiful part about trading, is that you can decide what you want to take. And yes, Course, I agree. The PA today was not good. Even looking at this 1-minute, I would never take this 1-minute on a real account because we didn't take sell side liquidity. We're chopping around in this barcode PA. It's not an obvious 1-minute. Now it did work. I did take it on eval and got stopped out on this wick. This 1-minute was not terrible, but the fact that we closed right here made the RR really bad up into this internal high. And then down here we got no real good 1-minute reversals. So nothing was great. And even on the 2-minute, no really good fair value gaps here. Nothing at all. On the 3-minute, nothing at all. This 3-minute wasn't terrible, but again, it closed all the way up here, so the R is terrible. Yeah, hopefully we get a nice Friday. That's for sure. Again, I still think the draw is 830 and this internal high, but again, even if you think a draw is to a certain area, if you don't have an A+ setup, then what is the point? What are you taking? You know, there's no repeatable, actionable setup that you can use and backtest for data collection. Like, just dumb. No reason to take a trade here. A lot of the scalps I took today are because of just my general knowledge of the markets. Like, I knew that we were very likely to balance the high of this 3-minute fair value gap, so I took a 1-to-1 scalp here, and it worked. This 5-minute, where was the 5-minute that I took? This 5-minute we took, instead of the 3-minute. The 3-minute closed all the way up here, but the 5-minute had already closed, so I took a scalp up to here with that trade. But yeah, now I'm done. So hopefully you guys took something, or you profited, but I don't think anything was A+ today. But if you're good, you can get away with taking little scalps, high probability scalps. So that's what I did. Let's see, Cores, what stuff is on the calendar tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Orange Folder news all day. We have FOMC members. Tomorrow I would be careful for sure. Again, I think the draw, generally speaking, if you look at the daily chart, Generally speaking, I'd like to see this daily high get taken and a rebalance of the entire daily fair value gap. Now, again, it's allowable for it just to have traded up to the 50% level of it, and then we'll reject from here. But yeah, I don't know that tomorrow's going to be that smooth, but ideally this is the draw for the intermediate term, the next few weeks. Yeah, of course, I think we'll get some decent setups in the morning, but if you guys look at the economic calendar, so you can see it right here, right? Is that showing your screens? If you look at Friday tomorrow, we have orange floater news at 8:30. By the way, guys, I post this econ calendar in my Discord so you guys can see it, but if you don't want to someone to do it for you, you can just go on forexfactory.com. That's where I find this information. There'll probably be a decent setup. The market will probably behave slowly at 8:30, but then when the market opens, because there are FOMC members speaking, this day can be a little bit more manipulated than normal. So I would be careful. If you're already profitable before market open, if you trade futures like me, trading at 8:30 will probably do better. You'll see a decent setup form there, and then I would just be done. Especially if you've been profitable in a week. I've been very profitable this week, which is nice on swing trades and on futures. We built this account up, this eval to I'm up $350 on it. I mean, it's not huge, but it's not bad for a week. And then in my cash and funded accounts, I've taken some very good trades. I think I have one loss on my funded, and 0 losses on my cash account. So yeah, I don't think I'll be very anxious to take any trades tomorrow. Of course, I don't know if I'm bullish tomorrow. I have to see where we open. But tomorrow's not typically a day that I will trade with a live account. Because I've been very successful this week already, so no need to. And B, because it's an FOMC member that's speaking and no red folder news. It's not likely that we'll see the best price action. It's possible, but I just know from past experience that when we've had a good week and there's no red folder news and FOMC members, price tends to be very choppy, but we'll see. Yeah, and if Asia and London session move a lot, then I would it'd be even more likely that that New York session would be bad. So we'll have to see. And guys, yeah, I think I'm done here. I'm gonna make a few YouTube shorts to post for later in the week. Next week. And yeah, so after 12:10, I'll just sign off. I have a lot of other stuff I have to do today at the gym. And yeah, so I'll stay on until 12:10. But guys, if you have already taken a trade today and you're profitable, I would just stay away. Again, I do think this is the draw still, but not in the right area here to be taking any longs. I don't see any setups. So, of course, I just got back, bro. I'm back in LA, so I had to wake up early again. I was up at 3:30 this morning, probably because of the jet lag. But I also wake up early just to prepare for market open, for the 8:30 news. Sorry. Yeah, guys. So here's that bullish candle. I want to see this take out this high now, and it's perfect because it started in this 1150 macro. So this should be the move that drives price higher. If we get an inverse 1 minute here, after taking out this internal buy side, then you could maybe target for a short here, but again, not interesting to me. But yeah, of course, let's pay attention to Asia and London and see if we get big moves. If it's a consolidated move, then I think we'll get a decent move tomorrow for New York. But again, I'm not banking on bullishness or bearishness. I do like these equal highs here. And then we have this daily high, and then we have the top of the daily fair value gap. So this is generally what I'm aiming for the next few days, next few weeks. But yeah, I'm not like super interested in taking anything else today. Again, I think we're going here, like I said, in 8:30, but not in the. There's no setup for me to take. So, isn't it amazing? Once you study price enough, you have a very idea of where it's going to go. Again, I did ideally want the sell side first, but again, I told you guys that this LRLR was very likely to be run, and I told you that if we inverse this 3-minute, that we were very likely to, if we inverse this 3-minute, which we did right here, we're very likely to take out this high, which we are probably about to do right now. Yeah, it's actually incredible. Like like I said, guys, I've been looking at these charts for almost 4 years. As far as day trading is concerned, ICT for about 2.5. I'm sorry, ICT for about 4, but inverse for value gaps for about 2.5. And yeah, when you see the market enough, you can know with general likelihoods where it's going to go. Again, it doesn't mean you take a setup because even the best get it wrong. But yeah, exactly, Course. 1, 3, and 5 minutes. Even I take 2-minute trades a lot. If you can take those fair value gaps, it literally can be so life-changing. Simon, London, we are in trouble as the state budget is on the 30th and we're expecting loads of taxes, including business taxes. Big tax rises to be announced here. That sucks. And wasn't your prime minister supposed to be better, but he ended up being really bad? I might be wrong, but that's what I heard. That he was supposed to be a change, and then he ended up being just as nonsense as the other people. So guys, we're about to test 8:30. We're also going to test a bearish breaker. So this is also a decently high probability area for shorts. And it's 12 o'clock Eastern, so we got 10 minutes left on the stream, guys. Simon, 100 days already. It's crazy. All these people are elected. They're all. I feel like they're all part of the World Economic Forum. It's just one puppet after the next. They seem to be good, and then they end up being terrible. So unfortunate. And it's amazing. Even in the US, Simon, all these spoiled Gen Z kids that have no idea what life is really about. Again, I'm only 27, so technically I'm close to Gen Z, but I'm just on the borderline. I still feel like I have a decent perspective on life, and I'm a business owner, and I build everything that I have from nothing, pretty much. I mean, my parents are wealthy somewhat, you know, they're like upper middle class, but they didn't give me anything. They helped me with college bills, but I paid the majority of the tuition myself. And I built a real estate business and a stock trading business on my own. So I think I have a decent decent take on life and building something, but some of these kids are so spoiled. They have no idea what the world is like, and they support communism and fascism and socialism. They have no idea what what these things do to what they've done in the past to the world. So stupid. And all these kids just protest at these college campuses about nonsense because they're bored and they have nothing else to do. Okay, guys, so this is the 50% level of that 5-minute fair value gap that I called earlier. So this is a decent potential zone for shorts, but again, I would never short this because we have equal highs above. So that would be the final take profit. If you are in longs here, I would take your full position off. I think this is a very decent place for the market to reverse intraday, chop around. Simon, we knew he was going to be terrible, but we just had a lot of issues with the last one. It's a swing from center right to center left. Binoge, there's my 2515. Yeah, good trade, Binoge. I don't know if you were in it because you got liquidated or whatever, but hopefully you got some of it. Thanks, Simon. I appreciate it. I think all the guys that come to this live stream, I'm pretty sure it's all males, but I don't think many females are trading these days. I mean, there's some, but most of you guys seem really level-headed. I think most people that trade have a decent just take on the world and have a general like logical perspective on things. Not everybody, but I think that's a common trait in traders is they can think for themselves and they're logical thinkers. That's okay, Benoj. It happens to the best of us, bro. So yeah, guys, look at that. Right at the 50% level, we got this reversal. I think we're probably likely to come back and rebalance this 3-minute here. It's also a 2-minute for value gap. It's also a 1-minute internal low. A lot of people that are long have their stops below that low, so algorithm's likely to drive price there, and there it is. Literally, I can call this minute for minute. It's crazy. The next spot we could potentially go here, if this is support, is this internal high, which is also a 3-minute for value gap. On the 5-minute, yeah, I wouldn't touch anything here, guys. The moves are done for the day. Yo, what's up, Lep? Long time no speak, bro. We just we're talking about how ass this PA was down here. I took a scalp up to the high of this 3-minute fair value gap. And then I was telling people that price was going to go up to this high and then the 50% level of this 5-minute fair value gap. So we just got that. But now that it's almost done with the macro, I'm done for the day. Oh, you want that 50% level, huh? Lep, do you live trade or are you doing don't you have your own Discord now? I don't know if you had yours before mine, but yeah, Lep, I don't know if we're gonna go up to there's these equal highs here, but maybe this 3-minute fair value gap, I don't know. But yeah, once that 50 hits, we're done. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to guesstimate the rest of the day. Guys, I'm off in 5 minutes when this macro's over. We had a bunch of good trades, so no need to be gambling any more money. But isn't it interesting, guys, how when we get into these macro times, especially if we're hitting a level of liquidity, like the 50% of this 5-minute, macro times, even in the middle of the macros, there can be reversals. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. Took one trade off the hourly OTE off open down 15-second fair value gap to the 1-minute 50%. That's all you need, literally. All you need is a 15-second chart if you can do it right, up to the 50%. Guys, if you don't know Lep, or I call him Lep, but it's Leopard, he's a pro at 50% retracements. So he uses the Fibonacci tools and he draws legs from highs to lows, and he targets 50% levels after market structure shifts. And he'll do it on the 15-second, 30-second, 1-minute. He's really good at them. And I will admit, a lot of the 50% stuff that I learned, a lot of it came from him. I mean, ICT did have some lectures on it, but he did a really good job. Me and him were in a Discord a while back. The guy named Dodgy, I think he's probably still in it. But he talked a lot about 50% retracements, and they are A+. They're really good setups if you do them right. And you see he's in and out on a 1-minute. He's using the 1-minute and the 15-second chart, and he's able to get quick scalps, and he's done. So that's all you need, literally. Took one. Scalp goes good, right? What do you mean, Cores? I'm talking the Lep up. I'm talking a big game, but I'm serious. He's a great trader. 50% of this leg. Look how, guys, look how we came down. This was at open, right? And this is what I think Lep is talking about, is the 50% retracement of this leg. We came down and then he zoomed into the 1 minute or the 15-second, probably somewhere here, and took a retracement back to 50% of maybe this leg. Oh, Lep, you're in Dubai now? When did you move there again? I forgot. I remember you saying that. Yeah, and cores, it literally doesn't matter what time frame you use. If you know what you're looking for, if you have a model that works, you can be done in 15 seconds. Like, I personally make more of my money swing trading. But sometimes I'm holding for 7 weeks. Lep could make a similar amount of money on a 15-second chart if he wanted to. It just literally all depends on your model, and you can come up with setups in any time frame. Yeah, that's what I meant, Lep. I know you were deployed for the military thing, but when were you deployed? Like what month were you there again? Forgot what you said. But I do really want to go to Dubai. That's my next. I just came back from Thailand. I was there for 3 months. I was in Bangkok last. I went to Koh Samui, Phuket, Pattaya, Chiang Mai, Singapore, Bangkok. Obviously, that's not all Thailand. I moved around, but now I'm back. But my next trips are going to be Dubai and Sicily. I think those are my 2 big ones. Hopefully in the next, I don't know, 6 months. Damn, Lep, 2 weeks. So I had a stop in Dubai because I had a connecting flight, and when I got off the airplane, they made us walk outside. I've never experienced heat like that in my life. 7 to 8 months. That's awesome, Lep. I hope you have a good time, bro, and stay safe. But yeah, the heat, it was literally 120 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't think I've ever felt above like 110. But it was so humid and nasty. But I mean, obviously there's lots of air conditioning and stuff, so splitting time between Qatar and Dubai, that's so sick. Have fun, Lep, that's awesome. Vinoj, I always stop in Dubai to do desert safari and off-roading. That's sick. Alright guys, so that's the macro. By the way, I'm going to stop using the word sick. If you guys I follow holistic people on X. There's one guy called Soulbra. I don't know if you've heard of him. But he thinks that words are spells, so he won't use the word sick because it's like a negative connotation of like you're sick. Interesting concept to think about, but so I will say that's awesome. But I wish you guys the best if you're done with your trading. I mean, I would be done if I were you. 939, 15-second fair value gap off the hourly. Played to 490. Let's check it out. 939. Where was that? Here? Oh, you played this. Okay. And it was a play back to 490. Was that a... Oh, whoa. You really did... Oh, okay. 50% of this leg. Damn. That's a great trade. Yeah, Binoj, get off, bro. That's it. This is the last leg of price. I think everything after this is going to be low probability now, so I would stop. But guys, I wish you the best. Lep, thanks for stopping by, bro. And Binoj, don't tilt. But I'm going to get off here. I'm going to go to the gym. I have some other work to do, some shorts to make. So good luck, guys. Binoj, bro, I'm telling you right now. You're on tilt, and if you lose, you're going to look back today, and you're going to be like, what the hell was I doing? You're going to be depressed and miserable. If you're red, just stop. And especially because your first trade, thanks, Lep, I appreciate it. Especially because your first trade was that liquidation stuff, it's going to mess with your head, so I would stop, honestly. All right, take care, guys. I'm going to get off. Lep, stay safe, bro. Good luck with everything. And Binoj, don't go on tilt. And